Rick Kahler, thanks for joining me today. Well, it's political season and we're going to hear a lot of politics in the coming months. And I'm always amused when politicians play the greed and the class cards to convince middle and lower income Americans that the rich are getting richer and are not paying their fair share in taxes. This statement is about as old as politics is. We've been hearing it forever. A typical example was a December speech by Hillary Clinton in Ottumwa, Iowa, in which she said that the tax code was, quote, totally tilted toward the wealthiest Americans, end quote. Now, being the inquisitive person that I am, I thought I'd check out her facts. According to the most recent information available from the IRS, those Americans earning the top 1% of income paid 39% of the total revenue collected by the U.S. government from personal income taxes. The top 5% paid 60% of the income tax burden, and the top 10% paid 70%. In fact, the top 50% of all income earners paid 97% of the entire income tax burden. That means that 50% of all Americans paid only 3%. Now, I would agree with Senator Clinton that the income tax code is totally tilted. It's just not tilted in the direction that she suggests. Well, what about the argument that the rich are getting richer? Isn't that the truth? Well, let's check the facts as reported by the Treasury Department in October of 2007. In 2000, at the end of Hillary's husband's term, Bill Clinton, in office as the president, the richest 1% of Americans earned 21% of all income and paid 37% of all income taxes. Now, in 2007, the richest 1% of Americans still earned 21% of all the income, which does not sound like they are getting any richer. But they paid slightly more in taxes, or 39% of all the income taxes collected, a 2% overall increase. So it looks to me as if the rich actually got slightly poorer during the Bush administration. Another statement that really plays well in stump speeches is bludgeoning U.S. corporations for earning obscene profits, suggesting that corporate America is not paying its fair share. Sometimes you think that any profit earned is obscene. Well, another check of the facts finds that the U.S. levies the second highest corporate taxes in the world. The only other country that taxes corporations higher is Japan, and that's 0.2% higher. So that argument really doesn't fly. Perhaps some of those crying for higher taxes on corporations forget that their retirement probably depends upon those obscene corporate profits. Lower corporate profits are going to spell lower prices on stocks, which are going to spell lower returns for your 401k or your IRA plan. An important factor that we got to remember in creating wealth, trade, a strong economy, is plenty of economic incentives, which includes a moderate to low income tax structure. A low tax structure played an important part in the U.S. becoming a world economic power. In fact, the U.S. didn't even have an income tax until 1913. Well, today, Americans at the highest income level pay 40% of their income to the federal government. And to that, you have to add state income taxes. Now, I know some of you are probably wondering, well, what about Warren Buffett, who says that he pays a lower tax rate than his secretary? Well, Warren is talking about the taxes he pays on capital gains and dividends, not his salary. Still, our total tax load as a country is one of the better ones in the world. When you consider all taxes, corporate taxes, income taxes, Social Security taxes, sales taxes, the U.S. has the 12th least miserable tax burden in the world. And that was according to the Forbes 2007 Misery Index. Unfortunately, we've fallen from 6th to from 6th place in 2005 to 12th place today. The United Arab Emirates has the least miserable tax burden, and France is ranked as having the most miserable tax burden. A married couple in the U.S. earning $70,000 keeps about 83.5% of their gross income, which is the 10th highest net in the world. Higher income earners don't fare as well. Married income couples earning $300,000 a year only keep 72.8% of their income, slipping to number 14th worldwide. So basically what that's telling me, our middle class Americans are paying a lot less of their income in taxes than richer Americans, and actually about 1/3 less of what the richer Americans are paying. So most Americans really don't have a lot to complain about when it comes to taxes. While we certainly don't pay the world's lowest income taxes, we pay nowhere near the total taxes of most of the world. However, given the current political temperament of our electorate, I expect our tax load to move up on the global scale. If we want to remain a world economic power, however, we should be moving in the opposite direction. Thanks for listening.